Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News starts right now.
All hands on deck as a Supreme Court bombshell suggests an historic change.
Women need the ability to make their own reproductive choices.
Tonight, what this draft opinion means for the state of Michigan if Roe v. Wade is overturned.
Right off the top here at 10, the fallout in the nation's capital is massive.
Now Governor Whitmer is calling on Congress to immediately protect access to abortion and reproductive rights. That's in response to a leaked High Court draft opinion saying those rights aren't protected by the U.S. Constitution and could be left to individual states. It's not a final decision, but the leak was confirmed today by Chief Justice John Roberts. He's now calling for an investigation into how it happened. It's estimated nearly 24 states and territories would ban abortion if Roe v. Wade is overturned, and Michigan is one of them.
Tonight we have team coverage here at home with Pamela Osborne in Detroit and reaction to this leak, which is just historic.
Yeah, and we start, though, with Mara McDonald. She just spoke to Governor Whitmer about what's next for Michigan, and Mara joins us live in Lansing tonight. Mara, good evening.
Good evening, Kimberly, and the answer is simple. If this draft opinion is what the Supreme Court is actually going to approve and vote on, it means that abortion becomes illegal in Michigan, with the exception if the mother's life is in jeopardy. Well, in speaking to the governor tonight, she's doing her best to make sure that doesn't happen. Protesters in Washington, D.C., and protesters in Lansing.
Stand up! Stand up!
On the move after that leak from the Supreme Court. If this draft is what the actual opinion looks like, here's what happens next here at home.
Michigan would go from a pro-choice state overnight to having one of the most extreme laws in the country. That's not hyperbole.
Because of a 1931 law on the books in Michigan that criminalizes abortion.
People have abortions for all kinds of reasons, and many of them are medically necessary. But I think that this will have the kind of chilling effect that doctors just simply will not perform this procedure really under any set of circumstances because they don't want to get dragged into court.
Now, some county prosecutors like Kim Worthy and Karen McDonald have said they will not prosecute doctors and women under this law, but it would still remain in place. The governor last month asked the Michigan Supreme Court to strike the law. Planned Parenthood has its own case in the Court of Claims, and a coalition of organizations is trying to put abortion on the ballot here in November and is in the process of gathering hundreds of thousands of signatures. Back here live, that's a pretty hefty haul that's required to get that on the ballot. But in speaking to Planned Parenthood today, that group says that it is on track to meet its target. Now, could the Michigan legislature just essentially repeal that 1931 law? Yes, it could, but the Michigan legislature is controlled by the GOP, and it has not shown any predilection to wanting to do that, at least at this point. We're live in Lansing tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Local 4.
You know, Mara, I think a lot of people are thinking about we're heading into midterm election season with voters really worried about inflation. Do you think this Supreme Court decision like this, if it stands, will make abortion, this issue, kind of like a mechanism that will drive voter turnout?
You know, I was talking to our pollster today, Kimberly, and here's his take. The short answer is he doesn't know. The longer answer is abortion mobilizes the bases of both of these parties. Mm-hmm. That much is clear. But Michigan elections, especially statewide, they tend to be decided by independent voters in Southeast Michigan. Mm-hmm. Now, do those voters view abortion as a greater issue than inflation? Is it on par? I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah.
Back to you.
We'll have to wait and see. Okay, Mara, we appreciate it. Jason.
Well, Pamela Osborne spent the day talking to people, and many have strong opinions on this, as you would expect. Earlier tonight, protesters rallied outside the federal courthouse in downtown Detroit, and that's where Pam is live for us tonight. Pam?
Jason, you get the sense that this really isn't over until it's over. As you mentioned, there were a lot of people that rallied outside of this federal courthouse today, demanding access and action from lawmakers.
I'm not condemning their ideologies. I just don't think they have a right to impose their ideology on me.
At 75 years old, Judy Raitt never thought she'd be here, standing against the draft opinion of the highest court in the land.
To see individual rights just evaporate, and because certain laws are twisted certain ways.
We will fight back till the end.
More than 100 others joined together by the single thought that a woman should have the right to choose what happens within her own body.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't be here if my mom didn't have the ability to get an abortion.
Sean Vaughn says it was a choice her mother had to make during a pregnancy that threatened her own life. She can't imagine a world where a choice for any reason doesn't exist.
The extent to which that is even possible to enforce depends on what we do.
It's hypocritical. This is so unbelievably unfair, unjust.
Abortion is a human right.
Taking it all in was Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib.
That decision was made. It's very clear. It's overwhelming support around our country for this. And a handful of justices, extremists, made a decision that will impact us.
She cautions the Supreme Court's opinion isn't a done deal yet.
Doing nothing isn't an option. Take it up. Abolish the filibuster. Expand the Supreme Court. I mean, these are options at the table.
And not everyone is against the Supreme Court's opinion. Earlier today, we spoke to representatives from Right to Life Michigan. They tell us despite the challenges, they're excited that Michigan would go back to a ban on abortions if, in fact, the Supreme Court does rule to reverse Roe versus Wade. Now, they also tell us there are about 150 pregnancy resource centers and adoption agencies across the state ready and willing to help expectant mothers. Reporting live outside of the federal courthouse tonight, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
All right, Pam, we appreciate it. And our coverage of this story continues tonight on Local 4 News at 11 and over on clickondetroit.com. There you can find a breakdown on what the future may hold for Michigan's abortion law. As we mentioned earlier, you'll also find Devin's blog on how this may impact the midterms.
Rain moving through all day long in Metro Detroit, and it may take a while for it to clear up here.
Yeah, Pam's in Detroit, Mars in Lansing. You can see it's wet in both spots there tonight, Andrew.
That's right, and you saw Pamela with her umbrella, too. Well, we have scattered showers that are still moving across the area, including here in downtown Detroit. You can see that up here toward Lapeer County, just down farther to the south, close to the Ohio border, and southeastern Monroe County, and more shower activity to our west. Let's focus in on some of the rain that's happening closer to the city of Detroit, including on the southwest side of the city and down toward Ecorse, Melvindale, Lincoln Park. All of this, as you can see, across West Jefferson Avenue, all of it light. Nothing as persistent, nothing as heavy as earlier today. So it remains scattered and light as we go through much of the early part of tonight. It's currently 53 degrees. Temperatures have barely budged since you joined us at 6. Winds at around 15 miles per hour out of the north-northeast. And with that wind direction, it pulls down this chillier air. It's already in the 40s in Pontiac, 47 in Lapeer, and we'll see 40s by dawn common across all of southeast Michigan, including here in downtown Detroit. But the rain will have stopped by the time we make it out to the bus stop tomorrow morning, whether it's at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., or 8 a.m. Now, tomorrow afternoon, it's sunnier. Does that mean it gets milder? I've got the answer and your 7-day forecast coming up.
Okay, Andrew, thank you. 2 Wayne County road workers facing federal charges in a corruption investigation. Federal agents executed a search warrant at a home earlier today in West Bloomfield Township. 64-year-old Kevin Gunn and 54-year-old John Gibson are charged with wire fraud and money laundering. Prosecutors say both men used money meant for roads to buy nearly $2 million in power equipment from 2019 to 2021. The FBI says local vendors falsified invoices in order for Gunn and Gibson to buy the equipment and sell it for cash. They face up to 20 years in prison.
Right now, police need your help finding a man who attempted to set a Detroit gas station on fire. Video shows the man light a Molotov cocktail and throw it into the door, and then he takes off here. This was last Friday at the Mobile on 7 Mile and East Outer Drive. Police say the clothing of a person inside the gas station caught fire. No word on their condition, but take a closer look here. This is the man police say is responsible. He took off south down Myers Road. Right now, there is a $500 reward for information. If you can help, call Detroit Police. A marijuana vending machine on Detroit's west side leads police to a man with several guns and rounds of ammo.
Marcellus Cornwell faces felony in possession of a firearm charge. Feds say they found 18 guns and several rounds of ammo at his home on Metatol near Finkel back in March. We're told some of those weapons were stolen. Feds say they got a search warrant for his home after receiving a tip Cornwell was running a marijuana vending machine outside his home. Cornwell told feds he owned and operated the vending machine for 4 years and was making about $2,000 a day. A longtime Kroger employee says she was unfairly fired and now she's taking the company to court.
61-year-old Beverly Bennett worked at a Kroger in Lincoln Park for 31 years. She says she got into it with a shoplifter last fall when a man rushed by with a cart full of liquor. The alarm went off at the exit, and Bennett says she asked for the man's receipt and then swung a basket at his cart. At first, her coworkers congratulated her for stopping the theft, but then Kroger fired her for the basket swing.
I didn't have a retirement party. I didn't say bye to anybody. None of that. Because I was terminated because I thought I was doing the right thing.
Bennett believes she didn't violate any of the company's policies by swinging that basket at the shoplifter. She thinks she was discriminated because of her age. It's an 8-figure pledge that's going directly to directly impact Detroit neighborhoods.
The Detroit Home Repair Fund will assist low-income homeowners in the city with home repairs. The Gilbert Family Foundation, DTE, and ProMedica are investing $20 million into the program. It's expected to help more than 1,000 Detroit homeowners over the next 3 years. The program builds off the Detroit Tax Relief Fund.
We just know that so many people are struggling to afford the huge home repair costs.
The number one issue that we hear day in and day out is I need grant funding for my home.
To find out if you qualify for this fund, go to our website, click on Detroit.com.
We're right back in 90 seconds with a look at what a cruise ship was doing in Detroit today that had people from all over town coming to check it out.